Natasha Lyonne is the latest celebrity to defend transgenderism, and it seems like we're seeing a celebrity or actor come out and defend this absolutely heinous and evil ideology every single day now, which really undermines any arguments that woke is going away or woke is dead. It clearly is not. We clearly have a lot of work to do to eradicate this ideology from our country and from the West at large. And obviously the latest example here is Natasha Lyonne in this interview she gave with Glamour. In the interview, she was asked, "You're an icon within the queer community. After your amazing performance in But I'm a Cheerleader, what does that mean to you, particularly in the current climate with Trump in power and the Supreme Court challenging trans women's very existence?" And this is what she said in response. "Well, I'm so grateful for it, and I'm not sure that I completely identify with this projected female dream that winning at life is finding that dude and putting on a crock pot or something. It's never really been my trip. So regardless of, well, I do love dudes, but I do think that everybody in this life is entitled to equal rights and the dignity of their experience. And I certainly think that it's absolutely insane to judge somebody's personal freedoms on the basis of, what are we even talking about? It's no one's business what somebody's privates are. What a weird head trip to get involved in. I think it's important to also let people have their belief systems. People are attracted who they're attracted to. It's just none of your business. Mind your own business." She goes on and says, "I loathe racism. I hate inequality in all forms. I think it's insane that somebody thinks that they have a right to tell a woman about her power to choose. To quote Sarah Silverman, if men could get abortions, they'd be available at ATMs everywhere. So I don't know how they think the babies got in there, but the answer was firm. So it's a real case closed, and I'm not a fan." So absolutely repugnant comments here from Natasha Lyonne on multiple levels. Obviously, the defense of transgenderism is absolutely sickening. Pope Francis has condemned this ideology as the worst danger of our time. He added that this ugly ideology of our time, which erases differences and makes everything the same. To erase difference is to erase humanity. It is literally an attack on humanity. It is an attack on reality. It is specifically an attack on reality because we know, as Bishop Burbage said in his A Catechism on the Human Person and Gender Ideology, we know from biology that a person's sex is genetically determined at conception and present in every cell of the body. Because the body tells us about ourselves, our biological sex does in fact indicate our inalienable identity as male or female. Thus, so-called transitioning might change a person's appearance and physical traits, hormones, breast, genitalia, etc., but does not in fact change the truth of the person's identity as male or female, a truth reflected in every cell of the body. Indeed, no amount of masculinizing or feminizing hormones or surgery can make a man into a woman or a woman into a man. As far as the claim that it is no one's business, one wonders if Lyonne would tell that to the rape victims at New York's Rikers Island jail. NBC New York reported just last year in January 2024 that a man pretending to be a woman raped a female prisoner. In fact, the outlet reported that even after warnings and complaints, the victim said correction officers failed to remove the alleged perpetrator from female housing, despite allegedly propositioning the victim sexually and groping her in the shower. Days later, the victim claims she was sexually assaulted in her sleep by the perpetrator. So I'm pretty sure she cared about that. In fact, there are numerous examples of this happening in Virginia, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Wisconsin, and elsewhere. You can just see the headlines right there on your screen. But what I found really interesting about Natasha Lyonne's comments is how she connected transgenderism, feminism, child murder, homosexuality together. And it's because they are indeed connected. And I actually read this X article by Father John Nagel last night, and he had an excellent definition of woke and how it has played out here in the West. And this is how he defined it, saying woke, properly defined, is a radical rejection of reality itself, which takes the form of a proxy war against the creator whose existence is denied. And that is an absolutely excellent definition of woke is, as a radical rejection of reality itself. We obviously see this in transgenderism, where these people think that men can become women and women can become men when they clearly can't. We just noted that it is literally coded into our DNA, whether we are a man or a woman, and we cannot change that. You look at sodomy and homosexuality. That is a clear rejection of reality and the complementarity between man and woman and how God made us. You look at abortion. It is literally child sacrifice, where they are murdering the most innocent of us in the womb. That is clearly an attack on reality. It is an attack on the right to life. It is sickening. It is sickening. So excellent definition here from Father Nagel. He goes on and says Marxism and communism precede wokeism in exactly this manner, as it was a project in atheistic materialism, which it learned from the liberal West, which denied the anthropological truth about what man really is, and therefore the necessity of private property. The sexual revolution is the accelerant which spread the fire of reality denial far and wide. Widespread fornication, contraception, adultery, divorce, abortion, and sodomy are a direct assault on who we are as men and women, and therefore destructive not merely of individual souls, but of nations themselves. It is impossible for a nation to do anything other than self-destruct once the culture of death is so firmly entrenched. Now, that's pretty grim right there. I hope that we can change this. We can root this culture of death out so that we can stop the self-destruction that has been taking place in our society for at least it's been going on for a very long time, right? Obviously, you can look at the sexual revolution mainly happened in the 60s, so before I was even born. So I hope that we can indeed kind of root this stuff out and get back to a culture of life and a Christian culture that rejects this culture of death that has become extremely entrenched in our society. He then goes on and says, becoming woke is simply the final unhinged step that claims that reality itself can and should be jettisoned so as to welcome in the progressive utopia where no actions or vices ever have consequences in this life and nothing comes after the death which your doctor should offer to you the moment your continued existence in this world becomes anything less than pleasant. And I think that perfectly encapsulates what Natasha Lyonne is talking about here. She wants to jettison reality. She wants to welcome in this progressive utopia where no actions or vices ever have consequences. And this is how she is trying to defend transgenderism through this false idea of freedom that has gained widespread adoption in our culture. And it's just a shame. And you can see this when she says, I think it's important to also let people have their belief systems. People are attracted to, they're attracted to. It's just none of your business. Mind your own business. And then she also says here, and I certainly think that it's absolutely insane to judge somebody's personal freedoms on the basis of what are we even talking about. Like she thinks that it's some kind of freedom to pretend to be a woman if you're a man and a man if you're a woman, and that it is somehow some kind of freedom, when in reality it is an attack on reality. It is a rejection of the truth. And lots of people have been psyoped into buying into this false idea of freedom, myself included. Fortunately, I was able to find the truth, and I continue to seek the truth, and was able to realize how evil that big lie really was, and now can talk about it and call it out, and hopefully share the knowledge that I gained to others to eradicate this false idea of freedom that is indeed destroying our society. But let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make of Natasha Lyonne's defense of transgenderism here? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always speak the truth.
Why would you be afraid of the people? Why are you not afraid of God instead of man?